Hello and welcome back to another Lego build. This time we have the Clone Shock Trooper Mechsuit, set 75448, 151 pieces. So let's get into it. Geronimo. So we have 3 bags. Let's get my tray. So as always, the mini figure. Alright, so bag 1. Right, so just a single print face. So there we go. It's got a sniper rifle. Ooh. There we go. Thing is though, he's going to fall over, so let's prop him up with the rifle. So where do we start? Oh, this is a new piece, I think. Right, so we start with 2 little white studs, and they go in there. And then a 2x2 plate on top. And then we've got the 2 ball joint pieces. So I imagine that's for the legs. And then we've got this piece. So that goes on there. And then 2 more ball joint pieces. And they go there and there. So that's for the arms. And then we've got these 1x4s that have got 2 studs on the end. On either end. And they go there and there. Right. And then we've got a 2x2 tile with a little 1 stud in the middle. And then we've got these cheese slope grill pieces. So we've got 2 of those, and they go either side of the... There we go. And then some classic 1 bricks. So they go either side of there. And then we've got these little, they look like slippers. And they go on the back of the end. Right, and then we've got these little overhangs. So they go over there. There we go. And then got little black corner pieces. And they go over the top. And likewise with the other side. Build up that frame. And then we've got these 2x1s with the grabbers on the end. So they go over the top. Right. And then we've got this curved piece. And that goes over the top like that. And then we've got a white grill plate. And that goes there. So, we've got the little specially made piece for the minifig legs to sit on. So, that goes in there like that. And then we've got these little one stud cheese floats. Because they're white, it's Wensleydale. So I've got one of those either side. Gives it some shape down the sides. And then we've got the chest plate. So we've got a printed piece. And that goes, as with all the Mechsuits, got their like little logo. And then that clips onto there. Ooh. And then that just sits back onto the grill plates. There we go. So that's the torso. Ah no, okie doke. So we've got this little reverse plate with tile on the back and a hole. So that goes, excuse me, that goes like that. And then we've got like a little grabber pin. And that goes in the back like that. And I imagine that's where his sniper rifle goes for easy storage. So, bag two. We've got a couple of spare bits like the Wensleydale one stud and a round one stud. So, arms and legs. Right, so we've got these for the arms and the legs. So, little black 2x1 goes on the end there. And then another ball joint. So that sits on there. And another 2x1. And then we have a 2x2 to sit on the top. And then we've got these little 2x2, 2x1 overhangs. And that goes on the side there. And then we've got these little curved sloping pieces. In bright red. And that goes on that side with the slope going down that way. And then we've got some red cheese wedge. And they go facing down. And then one facing up. So you get that shape there. Then we got one of these weird sort of like kind of tile you get on the top of a house. And that sits against that. So it's the same sort, it's the same slopes. Right. Then we have the opposite to the ball joint and the socket. And that goes on the end of this side. Another 2x2 black plate. And then we have these little chunky things. With the front slope. So that sits on the top there. Then we've got a bright red grill plate, and that sits on the top of there. And then how does that go? So that's that leg, yeah. Okie donk, one leg done. Right. So we've got a sort of dome. We've got a red one stud. And then we've got crosshatch to plug. So that goes in the bottom like that. And then that goes in there. And he's got proper chunky legs. So, presume this is the next leg. So, 2x1 black, and then the ball joint. Another one of them, and another 2x2, and then the overhang again. More red cheese wedges facing each other. Tiny bit wonky, right. That on the end. And then a socket joint on the other end. Another 2x2 black plate. And then the other one of them. And that sits on there. We've got the other grill, the other red grill plate. Right, so goes. Oh, whoops. Right, so that goes in there, like the other side. So it's proper chunky. But he's supposed to be, he's a shock trooper, so he's got extra armour. So, right, so we've got the feet to do now. So, socket joint and a 2x1 black plate. And then we got these weird pieces. So, that goes on there. And we've got more red cheese wedges, so they go right. And then we got one of these pieces. And another 2x2 black plate. And then they go together like that and form the foot. And then we've got these little overhang cheese wedge, and they go over the front. Oh, hang on. Right. Got to put these pieces underneath. Give the foot some more bulk. Right, so that's right. And then we put those over the top and the front. There we go. And we do that a second time for the other foot, obviously. So we rewind. We've got the other socket joint. More red cheese wedges. Then, right, there we go. And then those two underneath. Ooh, 1x5s. And there we go, there's the 2 feet done. So, nice satisfying click. There we go. Ooh, let's make sure he's... There we go. Looking good. Right, so last bag, bag 3. So this will be the arms and then the gun. Oh, slurp of cup of tea. Right, so bag 3, yep. 2 more of these funny brackets for the arms. And start off with the socket. Okay. Got these little 2x2s with a corner chopped off, basically. Yeah, or they would say truncated, which basically means corner chopped off. Alright, and then we got these little circular ended 1x2. Another little slipper piece. So that goes on there like that. We've got these little chunky rounded off right angle pieces. So how's that go on? That goes on like that. Yeah. And then a one stud, a white one. Yep. I've got the little bar, little grabby bar, and that'll be for the fingers. Another little one stud. And then a little black overhang. And that goes over there, yeah? Like that. I think that's his thumb. So, more of these slipper pieces. Another one of the rounded 1x2s. And then we've got a little white curved, all sort of cheese wedge. And that goes over the top like that. Right. And then we put the fingers on. There we go. Thumbs up. So that's his left arm. With some chunky armour. Right. So onto the right arm. Socket joint. Then the other little truncated piece. That goes there. Another one of those. The other little one of the little rounded edge corner piece. So that on there. Little white stud. The other grab bar. Another white stud. And the other thumb. Right. Another little 1x2 rounded edge bar. There's the slope. And here are the fingers. Right. it is. Right, found it. So, okay, so got this additional bracket, and that goes under there. That'll be to hold his gun. Right, and then we've got a little reverse slope that goes underneath. That secures his thumb in properly. And then another one across there. Right. And then I've got one of these pins with a crosshatch connector on the end. And that goes in the top there. That's a tight fit. Tight like a tiger. Right. So that's gone all the way through. Then we've got this little tube. And that just fits on the other end to secure it in place. And then that's to hold the gun. Right, so we put that on there. So that's the main Mechsuit body done. Very cool. Right, let's set the little dude in there. There we go. It's kind of like a power armor from Fallout. Right, so we make the gun. Got these kind of like Technic pieces. So one on top of the other. Then got this little one stud overhang. Yeah. Anyway, that sits on the top of there. Then okay, right. And then a tile with two studs on one side. And that goes on the side there. And we got a 1x8. And then a black cheese wedge. That goes on like that. And then we have the stud shooter. And then a 1x4. So that sits on the edge there. And then another one of the rounded 2x1s. So that connects to that. Right. And then we've got the little reverse slope. So that goes onto there like that. And then we have a tiny little Technic crosshatch. So that goes in there. one stud, and another black cheese slope, and then a minute. So that goes on the end like that. Oh no, I've got it the wrong way around. That way. Like that. Yeah, so that's it done. So all we have to do is connect the gun to the arm piece. There we go, look at that. And then we put, obviously we put a stud, or a tiled stud, and load that up. So, very chunky. He's got his massive blaster rifle. He's got chunky arms and he's got chunky legs. I've got a few bits left over. Spare tiled studs for the stud shooter. And a few other little one studs. So, sorted. All done. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting that one. Right, so we're all finished. Oh, let's make sure he's standing up properly. So, there we go. Let us know in the comments what you think, whether you'd buy this yourself. I think, what was it? It's only £13 when it first came out. So, yeah. If you like my content, give us a like, maybe even subscribe. But yeah, thank you very much for watching and goodbye.